Hey guys, happy Sunday. In our part of the world, in other parts of the world, it's Monday. I'll get to that in a second. It is another episode of Watch Soup, and I am joined by my co-host every week, Sanjay, Engineer Wannabe, at the Engineer Wannabe channel. Hey Sanjay, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Good, man. Good. Not too bad. Had a good Sunday today.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a just a nice day today, relaxing day.
you,
How are you doing?
it looks like you got like a some sort of sports jersey on. What do
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Germany, German football team,
Yeah.
soccer team.
Soccer team. But yeah, football.
Yeah,
We know what you're talking about. You know, we're a little more sophisticated now in the United States. We understand that soccer is football.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
And you
is
guys
the World
play
Cup is
hand
this
egg?
year now, or the European Cup, right, or something like that is going on
Yeah,
or about
yeah.
to go on?
Euro 2021's
Yeah,
going on right now. I'm not really following it, but
yeah,
uh, yeah, I when it gets really hot, I tend to wear my soccer jerseys. So
excellent. What do you got on
or
wrist,
my
man?
football kits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am wearing my Seiko today, the Seiko SPB 213.
Excellent. That's a good looking
Yeah,
watch, man.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. And joining us this evening is Sam from the Sands of Time YouTube channel. I have a link in the description below. Please do give Sam check him out, please. Got some good stuff there. Sam, how are you, man? Welcome.
I'm doing fine. Beautiful morning here in Australia, 10 a.m. So I'm just glad to be on the show with you guys. Honored to be with Bobby Legs and Sanjay here. So, thanks for having me. I can't wait to start talking.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll
Yeah.
get into it.
Yep.
What are you wearing on wrist, Sam?
Well, if you've caught me on Sanjay's stream, I am wearing the usual just for today. My G-Shock, my Full
Yeah,
Metal G-Shock. Yeah, I like the watch, but I'm kind of trapped in where I am, so I
yeah.
haven't been able to go back and start swapping watches in my hometown. So yeah, can't wait to put on a Dox on the wrist. So
Nice. Very
yeah,
nice. I love Doxa. It's one of those watches where I just have to add to the collection one day.
yeah,
You know, it feels like it's a legendary piece, right? I mean, you
yeah.
know, I
Rob,
got
how are
my
you doing?
yeah, I'm doing good, man. I got my evening watch,
Yeah,
The Kudoke too. I'll put it back on. I'm
did it,
the kids were away this weekend, man, and
yeah,
I got a lot. I didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday. I got a lot of sleep today. I woke up. It was like 8:30, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man.
nice.
Mowed the lawn. Did some shopping, living the dream.
Yeah.
You know,
How have you got the Jaeger back?
I did. I
Yeah.
did, and I did. I actually filmed a video earlier that I'll release during the week. A German watch collection update video
Yeah.
because now I have the two of them, and that monochrome article about the trailblazers in German watch independent German watchmakers, and Jaeger and Benzinger. Well, Benzinger and Kadoke were two of the four that were featured. So, man, I was really fired up when I read that article. So
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood. Been in a good mood today. So let's say hit a loaded chat before we jump into things, guys. B Dev's here. What's up? Second, I don't see a first. Oh no. Um, William Rizzo doesn't count. I was already here. Justin, what's up, man? Wolfgang. All right. That's okay, Wolfie. Bruce, what's up, man? Good to see you. Chaz from the Berg is here. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? He's wearing the new Pagani Explorer 2 homage. I'm looking forward to that. He says he's going to send that to me. I haven't had a Pagani in the channel before, on the channel before, so I'm looking forward to that. Peter's here. Hey, Peter. Daniel, how are you, sir? Oil money, what's going on? Existential crisis, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love oil money. Hans is here. Kevin, what is going on? Jason, how you doing, sir? Hey, Megan, what's going on? Thank you for coming on today. Blue Shirt Doxa Nation supporting Sam's choices. That's good. We support your choices too, Sam. So,
Thank you.
JCB, another Australian, right?
Yep.
He's another.
Yep.
He's Australia's in the house, man. I love it. I've always wanted to go to Australia. I'm gonna do it one day. You guys see. I promise you guys. One day I'll go. Kevin again is here. What are you saying there? Watchlands. I was watching military aviation history on YouTube. A great channel. He was reviewing a tornado airplane, and it had a Zen clock on the dash. Pretty cool. That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Joe, what's up? 6 Killer 2121. I always say it. I gotta figure out what that means, man. One of these days. Al is here. No, you're good. You're not late. Bobby, hello. How are ya? Time Hill. We got a lot of the crew here. Hans, there's Hans again. Kevin, Keith E's here. Let us know what you guys are wearing on wrist. Love to know what you guys got. So, so first segment, we're going to do the comments. So let me put this banner over here too. So we're going to go and we're going to review comments from last week's stream. And let me just pull those up real quick. Of course, they're not ready. Let's see. We're live, guys. We're live. Okay, so Marcus, what do you say when your friend buys his dream watch and you think it's the most hideous watch you'd ever seen? Quickly goes to check chat log with Amin. Okay. All right. Megan, Bobby, and Sanjay loving Sunday night as much as our Friday night watch chat. Sorry I didn't get time to promote it in this week's ad. Don't worry about it. Megan, you always do such a great job for us promoting our streams on the Discord. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Mount Standard Time. This episode hit home with for me tonight. My pre-owned Helios Seaforth GMT in Abyss Blue arrived yesterday. I never forget seeing one 2 years ago at the Red Bar meetup here in Denver. I've been on the hunt for a long time. One finally popped up in the forum. Speaking of fakes, I was sold a fake Oris Aquis and a Seiko Casio. Both instances, I was refunded. Got lucky. Wow, that is pretty crazy. Helios. I guess I was understated. I knew they were popular, but they've really been really a popular micro brand, guys. And I guess you guys probably already knew that more so than me. But I'm glad MST that you got your money back on the fakes. Riss Ross, my favorite facts joke was when the Sonics color analyst Marquise Johnson told Kevin Calabro that the best part about Manute Bol was all the money his team saved by being able to fax into the next game. R.I.P. Manute. Manute was, if you guys didn't know, was like 7'6", really tall guy, but extremely skinny.
Okay.
He played in the NBA for a few years. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Moving along. Nick, I never bought watches on eBay. Not too sure how I feel about it. It's an old and discontinued. Then I'd be tempted to give it a go. Probably under $1,000. I've sold a lot of my watches on eBay this year, mainly 100 to 300 pounds, G-Shocks and Seikos. Yeah, I guess we're talking about eBay and selling on eBay and the pitfalls. That could happen with that. Thank you guys for the comments. Please keep them coming. We love reading them. And then now we'll go into the reviews. Sanjay, you're up.
Yeah. I only really got to catch 2 notable reviews this week. One of them Sam wanted to talk about as well, which is cool. But You're Terrific did another fantastic review of the Longines Avigation Big Eye Petroleum Blue Titanium watch. And it's really beautiful. That thing looks so good. And whenever, like you mentioned last time, whenever he does a review, it really makes you want that watch. Kind of. He has a great personality, and the way he writes is really entertaining. And the other review, again, was another great personality. Brandon Manancio did a review of the Lange Saxonia Thin.
Yeah.
Agreeing, he did a couple of, funny skits and a great review once again. He even posed the question as to, why a dress watch has to be worn when you're all dressed up. Why not, just wear a dress watch with a jeans and t-shirt? And it looks fine, and I agree. You know, it looks fine to me. In the 50s and 60s, those were just watches. What we call dress watches now are just watches. So I mean, to me, it looks great, and he brought up a great point. Great review as well. So yeah, those are the two that I got to catch. Do you guys have any thoughts? I know Sam has thoughts on the Longines.
Well, Sam, please do us the honor. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, two of the suggestions I'd made for today's watch soup. You know, firstly, your Terrific's review on the Longines Navigation Big Eye, and Watchfinder Co. He did a release, a video release on the Hanhart 417 ES, which is one of their most iconic pilot's chronographs. So in Watchfinder's review, towards the end, he actually challenges the Longines. So what I kind of wanted to try and do was just get your opinions on these two watches, the Longines Navigation versus the Hanhart. You know, what would you go for and why, pretty much?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I have this love for German watches, right? And so naturally, I think my first inclination is to go for the Hanhart. And after seeing that Watchfinder video, I was really intrigued by it. Let me pop up the banner here so guys can know what we're talking about. So I was really intrigued by it. I've seen it before so many times, right? I never really thought about it, but there's something about Watchfinder's video reviews that really gets me going. And Your Terrific has the same effect on me. And then watching his review of the Longines, man, I liked it. But I never thought of that it'd be in the running for anything. And now after seeing that video, and I just realized that people can influence me. Like, the last shiny object I see is the thing that I want the most, right? So I think they're both great watches, and I don't know, that Longines is really something special. There's something about it. I mean, I like the Hanhart a whole lot. I like the price tag a little bit better. I know it's different caliber, but of movement there. But man, that Longines is something. And I just like that big eye. I just like the change of of what you typically expect and see with a 3 sub-dial watch chronograph. So I would have to say at this particular moment in time, I'd be leaning Longines. What about you, Sanjay?
Oh, definitely. I'd be leaning Longines as well. I'm a sucker for blue dials, just like everyone else is, I suppose. But this shade of blue is so nice. It's got that fume style fade to it, and beautiful texture. I like that it has that petroleum. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a arsonist, but I like the association with petroleum. Or in where I grew up, we had kerosene that was this color, so it wasn't petroleum but kerosene, and yeah, just brings back memories, playing with fire as a kid. And I love titanium as a material.
Wait a second. It brings back memories of you playing fire. So wait, so let's just hold off on the Longines here. So like, what were you? Let's talk about some of your memories of playing with fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start talking about something.
So in Sri Lanka, where I grew up, you could just walk into a store and buy potassium nitrate, right? Which is the main ingredient in gunpowder. So I used to sit around, try to make formulations of gunpowder. I used to make smoke bombs. So mixing potassium nitrate and sugar would cause a beautiful smoke show. That was one thing I used to do. Before that, I used to, play with matches. I used to, shave off matches, the gunpowder, make a trail, and have a puddle of kerosene, and light the trail of gunpowder or the matchsticks, and make a bit of a Fire show. I could keep going.
So,
There's a lot
I
of
mean,
these.
I could see why you didn't watch movies. You know, I think you probably would have been better served with like a Blockbuster video in your town in Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
Than,
they didn't have that. They had a thing called the British Council, which was a library. So I used to go there once a week, and was allowed to get 2 VHS tapes.
was it
Growing up.
how to put together a bomb? Was one of them? You know,
No, no. This is just me having fun.
okay.
I was a chemistry nerd before being an engineering nerd. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So let's get back to the Longines.
Yeah, I'd pick the Longines Big Eye. The Hanhart is cool, but it doesn't matter to me that Steve McQueen wore it. I don't even know who Steve McQueen is, other than the fact that he's that guy who's on the Tag Heuer thingy, Monaco thing. So yeah, Hanhart's is really nice, but Longines really is nice.
What about you, Sam? What do you say, you?
Yeah. So look, I guess the whole point I try to pull out, because I know Bobby Legs has, he's reviewed some Hanhart. I think the Pioneer one in bronze and also just in stainless steel. So I know he's got experience with these watches. I guess what I was trying to get out from everyone here in the chat as well is, Hanhart, you've got this true to heritage pilot's watch and a tool watch. It's about their slogan, the reliability, readability. You got a chronograph hand where it's loomed. You got 100 meters of water resistance. You've got a true tool there. But in my opinion, Longines, I really like the petroleum blue. And yeah, cool story is they actually refer to the color as petroleum themselves. The only thing with the Longines is that they went an extra step, to put in, get a titanium case. Why couldn't they go an extra step and make it much more of a tool? And I think this kind of goes to the story about the review. Sanjay was mentioning regarding the Alange. People should start wearing dress watches. Just usually, what's there to, there's nothing really to be scared of. Especially, with your exposure to water, does the water resistance ever matter to you? In this case, or having that true to heritage, functional German pilot's watch, I guess, is what I wanted to say.
So I really personally, and Wolfgang wants us to pull up the Hanhart. I personally, when I have a chrono, it's not one of my first requirements. That I assume that I'm not going to have great water resistance in a chrono. Even though there's a lot of chronos that have amazing water resistance, like my 903 has 200 meters water resistance. You know what I mean? My Zen, I mean the Zenith El Primero that I had 100 meters water resistance. So, but I don't really expect super crazy water resistance. And 30 meters, I think it was 30 meters for the Longines. That's okay. I don't plan on going swimming with it. You know what I mean? 30 meters for me is fine. If I'm just doing daily stuff that doesn't require me getting involved with water. So it's not that much of a deal breaker for me. Is it that much? Is it hard to make it from 30 meters to 100 meters? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how difficult it is to add a screw down crown to something. I don't think it's that difficult once you're already there spending $3,500 on a watch. So I wouldn't hold it against it. Personally.
Yeah. For me, it was the Longines. It's all about the dial. For me, I love the Longines dial. It's just it's a marvelous style there. And it's a pilot's watch. It's not meant to be worn in the water, but people, it's just kind of the stigma with water resistance that people have.
Sanjay, you think water resistance is a big deal for you on with a chrono in general, or?
No, not even slightly. I can even have a daily watch. Like my watch that I love the most is the SBGY 003 Grand Seiko, 30 meters water resistance. I'm happy with that. It's splash resistant, which is what matters to me if I get caught out in the rain. if I'm ever planning to go inside water or a pool, I will specifically wear, my dive watch.
Right.
And there's, what are the chances of me finding myself inside water where I need 100 meters of water resistance? It's slim to none. Maybe if I drive off a cliff or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, or crash my aircraft.
Yeah.
It's unlikely. So yeah, 30 meters is plenty for me.
Justin asking the tough questions here. What if happens if the plane crashes into the channel? Very well. I mean, I think you got a lot more problems than water resistance.
Yeah.
But good question, Justin. You got to ask the hard questions sometimes. Kevin, is it Bobby? If I told you that you had a nice watch, would you hold it against me? Did I miss something? I think I missed something.
That sounds like the lyric or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe he might have been talking to Watch Medicine. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So, okay. So, and then let's go back to the other review, which was
Lange Saxonia.
the longest. So I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed the theatrics, and the reason why I really perked up when I started watching this review, because I'm kind of going through that the whole, do I need to wear a dress watch if I'm not dressed? I mean, like, does a dress watch belong with a dress outfit? And I'm getting to a point where, like, who cares? I'll wear my Kadoke or my other one with shorts and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it is a little bit more delicate than some of my other watches, but I am of the thinking now that, I'm going to buy what I like, and if I like dress watches, I'm going to buy dress watches, and I'm going to wear them around the house.
Yeah.
I don't need an occasion for a dress watch. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a friend, and he kind of motivated me into, getting into dress watches, because I usually I don't have many dress watches in the collection. The only dress watch I have is the watch he just gifted it to me. It's a Tissot Lelockley,
Mhm.
and it's the only dress watch in my collection. And I've actually purchased 3-4 dress watches. It's just that I didn't connect to the idea of the dress watch. But now that I'm personally I'm attacking a higher price range, I'm looking at offerings from Grand Seiko. It's kind of inevitable that I've got to deal with dress watches. So I'm starting to like it. And he wears his Nomos Tetra. He puts a suede strap, and he casually wears it. Anywhere, 30 meters water resistant. Look, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't look out of place. He wears a Master Collection Longines.
Mhm.
He's enjoying it as much as any other watch on any other day. So the stigma around, you got to wear a dress watch for, these certain events. It's just, to me, is just non-existent. Because for me personally, if I'm putting in that much money, even whether it's a dress watch, sports watch, I want to get equally the amount of fun from it. I want to be able to wear it anytime and enjoy it. So, I'm all for wearing dress watches.
Yeah. And I guess, and I agree with Ross, especially now that the pandemic has changed the total fashion game. You know what I mean? It's changed it. It's changed how we dress, especially since most of us had been working from home, and then, but as a result, it's not. I don't consider these things dress watches anymore. I consider them evening watches, as somebody Justin had mentioned. These are my evening watches, and that's how I'm going to refer to them from now on. Oh, we got a question here. Hans is saying, if the panel could keep only one of their present watches, which one would it be?
Easy. Grand Seiko SPGY 003.
Okay.
That's
Sam?
the one I've had for the longest too.
Yeah.
That tough one. I think in my current collection, I'm going to get things in the future, but with what I have right now, I think it would be the 300T Diving Star.
Yeah. This is a tough question. This is a really, really tough question. If I had to keep one, wow, man. I mean, because of the sentimental value, it would be the Black Bay 58. Yeah, that's and it's a dressy diver or an evening diver. I'll call it.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let's get some more comments. Justin was an early adopter of athletic shorts for fashion choices. Yeah. I think I had a Mrs. Legs made me clean or not clean, but reorganize my my drawers, my clothing, my cabinets today because we had to give away some stuff, and I realized I have a lot of athletic shorts. I'm going to be wearing a lot more athletic shorts these days. I've been wearing a lot of sweatpants. Anyway, as long as your dial matches your belt and shoes, you're fine. Okay. Oil Money, is it winter in Australia? Why is this guy wearing a long sleeve plaid shirt and a puffy vest indoors?
Yes, it is winter. It is winter.
Yeah. Time Hill, I don't think it matters anymore what watch is worn with dress or casual, sports or dress. I agree. Absolutely. Okay. I say this because I'm going to sell some of my watches and into this rising market. Okay. So let us know which one will you be keeping, Hans?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
Megan is saying, I love vintage watches, which makes up most of my collection. I don't store them in a vault. Bobby Legs, I wear them as much as possible. The only thing I do is remove bracelets and put on straps. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's move on to our first topic video of the evening. And it is Ben Watch Club, an epidemic of paid reviews. Sanjay, this was your selection. Give us the lowdown on this video.
Yeah. So this was, I think, I don't know how this video has performed, but this was really interesting. And I was super excited to see something like this because, it's calling out a lot of people, not directly calling out a lot of people, but it is calling out a whole bunch of people. And I took it at face value, which is what I tend to do, being the I guess the naive guy that I am, and Bobby always brings me back to center when these things come up. So I was super excited to hear what Bobby had to say about it, and a lot of the guys from chat as well. But Ben was talking about unscrupulous acts from people in the YouTube watch reviewing community, not even just YouTube, but websites, blogging, and things like that. How a lot of this can be, questionable conflicts of interest. Calling those out, and this has been kind of on my mind since the end of last year as well. And yeah, he brought up a ton of good points. He said he brought up also 12 points on how you might be able to test your favorite YouTuber to see if they are reliable, and those were really good points as well. And there were some, he called out one channel. I think it was Watch Reviews 4K or 4K Watch Reviews or something like that. I've had experience with that channel, kind of spamming my videos, and he kind of showed all the spam comments that have been coming from that channel. And then he called out another YouTuber for accepting $250 publicly on a mass email that was sent out from I forget the watch brand, but they sent out a mass email to a whole bunch of people, including Ben. And this one guy responded. He was all blurred out, but it was super easy to figure out who it was because he released a review of said watch on October 2nd of 2020. You just had to go look for October 2nd of 2020. You'd find out who it was. And yeah, there was super interesting, very high in drama, which I know is not a lot, not what a lot of people's cup of tea is, but yeah, super excited, super looking forward to hearing what you had to say, Rob and Sam. Yeah, come on, let me know.
Sam, you go first, man.
Yeah. Look, I watched the video, and yeah, towards the end, what you're referring to, I didn't figure out who that person was. But yeah, watches 4K reviews. He is. I've never had that channel or any of his videos featured in any of my recommended. So this morning I just decided to take a look, and he's kind of got a bible of reviews going on. Uh, with what he's reviewing. But yeah, with these paid reviews, I think it was on the Atowac watch. It looked pretty cool. And my whole disappointment with that was, why did this guy have to request for paid reviews? He could have just, if he wants to sell his products, he could have just maybe sent them into them, or request. Is it possible if you could review this? I don't care what you say, because if he firmly believed that his product was good, there wouldn't be any necessities, when it comes to watch review. So another thing, you did mention those 12 points, and one of the points which it kind of triggered my memory, and I was into Fortis watches at one point, and I stumbled upon a YouTube channel, Peter Kotzer, and he referred to a TGV in his video, essentially, because TGV, I think he's got 400,000 plus subscribers. People, when he puts up like a review or of something, a Dan, let's say he puts up a Dan Henry, I scroll down to the comments, it's like already purchased. And it sways people. And the tie-in with Peter Kotzer is that he bought this Fortis. It was a Fortis F39. I'm not sure on the name. It was a one of the new three-handers,
Right.
And it actually had a 21 mil lug width. But TGV, he stated it's a 20 mil, lug width. And one of Ben's points was, get the calipers out, prove those measurements. And this Peter was so happy that, because he had like 10, 20, 20 mil lug width straps, and he gets this watch and he can't use any of them. So he was kind of disappointed. But at the same time, it's his fault as well, because he should have done an extra bit of research, just buying on a whim, because some of the, big YouTubers just, motivate you to get it. It kind of, it's not a scam in a way. It's just, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's kind of deceiving to the people, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, I saw the video, and I think there was a lot of valid points that he made. Wilson, and I'll go through some of the points, but controversy drives views, and one of the first things that he says is like, oh, I'm not, really making this video just to drive views, but but he knew exactly what he was doing. So right off the bat, I'm okay. I think I know where this guy's coming from in a sense as well. But anyway, made some good points, and look, I'll come at this as from my personal experience as a YouTube content creator. And Sam, you brought up one with the measuring. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of, at times, especially early on, going by what the manufacturer puts in for measurement. At first, I didn't have calipers. I was just making videos, and I was going by with what their word was. Now I use calipers. I don't use calipers on screen, and the reason why is because usually I have the camera right here in front of me, and my hands are right here with the watch. And if I do the calipers, it's just way too clumsy. So most of the time, I do them before the review. Now I don't get, and I write them down. Now, sometimes my results are 2 or 3 decimal points difference. A 49 millimeter lug to lug in the description by the manufacturer, I may get a 49.2. Do I report that all the time? Sometimes I say exactly what it is. Sometimes I don't, because I personally can't tell the difference between 0.2, 2 millimeters, right? So maybe I don't say that. Maybe I say approximately 49 millimeter lug to lug, but I'm guilty, and I have been guilty about that in the past. Anytime I've only had like one brand send in a watch that gave me the watch, and I was, explained to them that I'd take the watch. But I have to, be honest with my review, or hopefully as honest as I can be. I know there's some people who believe that even saying that it doesn't matter, you're never really, really fully honest. But anyway, let's move past that. And then I could give it away to a subscriber, and they fully agreed. And I labeled that video as content, like, paid. This is a paid promotion. Now there are some YouTubers out there who get products in and they don't label that, and that's very deceptive, and that's wrong. So that's only really happened to me once when I got a watch in from the brand, and they gave me something to do it. I put that in there, that disclaimer. I didn't really feel great about doing that afterwards anyway. It had nothing to do with whether I would give an honest review or not. I just felt like, it was, I just felt a little uneasy about it, of the transaction. It wasn't a clean transaction. He also mentioned about, like, some YouTubers who release daily content. Like, how is that possible? How could they produce daily content? Do they actually spend time with the watch? Well, I don't know who he was referring to. I know somebody who puts out content twice a day, and I will take that guy's review and his word on the watch any day of the week, because he has super experience. He has a ton of experience doing these kind of things, and I don't need for you to tell me necessarily how you feel about the watch after it's been a week on wrist, per se, right? Sometimes I just want the numbers, man. I just want 42 millimeter case diameter, 49 millimeter. I want to know the movement, right? I want to know what strap comes on it. I want to see it on your wrist for a little bit, and that's it. I don't need you to tell me that you went hiking with it for a week and it was a great hiking watch. You know what I mean? But sometimes when I see reviews that people do that, I like that too. But when I go to this person, I just want the facts, right? So that I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know who he's referring to in regards to that. He also brought up a point about, like, reviewers who don't have the watches but are giving their opinions on it. And I think the Teddy. I don't know if he meant Teddy Baldassarre, but I mean, a lot of us do that. There's been times when I've talked about watches when I haven't had the watch with me, but I know from my experience that a watch, for example, that has a 38 millimeter case diameter or 40 millimeter case diameter, that has lugs to lugs of 48 millimeters, that's under 12 millimeters thin, is going to be a great fit on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. You know what I mean? So I'll give somebody a pass on that. And there was another thing that he had mentioned about people who've done unboxings and reviews at the same time. I've done that too. You know when I've done that? I tend to review a lot of Long Island watches from Mark over at Long Island Watch. Some of them are the same models, but with a different dial. So if I've done a watch already, but now I have it was with a blue dial, but now it's with a green dial, I pretty much can unbox it and review it because I've done that review before. But I'm showing you the green dial because people want to see the green dial. It's a new release. Other than that, man, I think it was a great informative video. However you take it, I mean, I'm generally positive about what he had to say. Like, I think, like, there's a lot of truth to that, but there's always two sides to the story too. So, yeah.
I do a lot of the things that you mentioned too. Like, the reason I don't show my calipers when I do a review, and that's mainly because I have analog calipers, and there was a couple of times where people were saying, hey, you didn't read that properly, and some people don't know how to read analog calipers, and so I stopped putting my analog calipers in there because it was causing some debate and controversy on whether my readings were correct or not. And so I was thinking, there are always these exceptions to the rule, but I think if we took that video as a general rule of thumb, kind of like a general overarching guideline, I think it would be pretty useful. Like unboxing and reviews, like your instance where you've had the watch in a different dial color, and you've reviewed this watch, everything about this watch, and so you're able to just do the unboxing and review. That, I think, is quite rare, right? It's not normal. So
True.
I would take your case as an exception to the rule that he was putting out. While another person who just got the box, I know there. I think when I was looking at the Oris um, Cherry Yachtmaster like Oris that they recently released, I think T3 did a review on it, unboxing and review, and I even mentioned it. It's not really a review; he's kind of doing a first impressions, right? Because he just got the watch in, and yeah. So I think there are exceptions to every rule that he put out. But as an overarching rule of thumb, I think those were pretty valuable. I think he had a slight dig at TGV as well, because he mentioned Guy from Just Bluefish, who had mentioned, and now we're going on he said she said, but Guy had mentioned that some company had asked TGV to do wrist checks, and not mention that this was paid for,
Right.
and he didn't say it was TGV. He said some YouTuber who has 400,000 subscribers. There's only one.
Right.
I mean, at that time, this was a few months ago. I think Watchfinder is getting pretty close now, but there's only one watch YouTuber who's got that many. So there was that dig at TGV, and I found it really interesting that TGV is really trying to put himself in this integrity light lately. I don't know if you caught any of his recent videos, but he is really trying to hammer it home about how morally sound he is, because he did these videos with Mark from Long Island Watch, and a lot of these points that he had were trying to make him say how much he hates the conflicts of interest in reviewing and things like that. So leads to this video, I think, leads to a lot of really interesting conversations.
Well, people are calling TGV out, so of course he's got his back to the corner, and we all knew this for a while now. That TGV, look, I mean, he's making a living somehow, right? So he's definitely doing some things that, and he should fully disclose what he's doing. But at the same time, look, I mean, when I do research on something, man, when I get a quote from somebody to do work on the house, man, I get 3 quotes, right? Dude, that's a rule of thumb. You get 3 quotes. A lawyer that I needed to close the house when I bought the house. I talked to 3 lawyers. You know what I mean? When you're doing research on a watch, if you're new and you're watching this, and you want to use YouTube as a source of information source, just treat it like you would treat whenever you read from the internet, right? Trust but verify. Okay. And check out other reviews. I mean, all you have to do is just Google the watch and you see a bunch of reviews that come down with it. The TGV has done some good for the watch community, especially early on. You know what I mean? But be aware that he's not the only one, and that maybe some of his what he's telling you is there's another motive behind it. Let's see what the chat is saying here. White glove watches. I liked it. I'm new and I had no idea that this sort of thing was going on. Than the obvious ones. Okay, so I mean, I got sometimes I got to put myself back into the mindset of when I was first getting back into watch collecting and checking out watch reviews. You know what I mean? TGV was one of the first guys, for example, that I got, and I got to remember that, because sometimes now I had some experience here, I know differently, and it's hard for me to get back there. So I mean, I wish there was a magical solution, Watch once over. I am so glad I have a day job. He was calling out Bruce Williams, Brandon Robb, and the list goes on. You 3 guys are safe. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Let's see. Clandestine luxury. It was an excellent video, and anyone who hates on it is likely just as guilty as one of the things he's pointing out. I mean, I think we have to look at both sides here and see where his motivation is coming from too.
This is why Bobby is so valuable, or Rob. because you have so much wisdom, Rob.
No, it's not that I have so much wisdom, man. It's that I don't know. I mean, I kind of was called out a little bit the other day about my position on this, and I was a little bit of a little not offended, but you know, yeah. So that's why I'm a little bit passionate about it. You know, that there's two sides to everything. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I lost a bunch of comments here. Oh boy. Sorry. I guess Ben is perfect. No glass house is there, right? Okay. Watch once over. To be honest with you, I've been approached by over 30 companies to do reviews in favor of the product, and I'm happy to say I've turned all 30 down. I think that's probably the safest thing to do. Watch once over. You're probably right. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to. Thanks, Hans. I try to do my best with the thumbnails. I have a lot of fun
Some
doing them.
nightmare fuel in there too.
Something right. ID guy dropping some good points on the panel this morning. Thanks, ID guy, for watching. Megan is saying, funny ID guy, what does anyone want to know about your man of mystery? Can answer it. Kevin S. Hey, thank you. Caliber. I have a caliber. You know what it is? Like I gotta do one of these overhand camera things so I could do the calibers. I think that's yeah. JCB, my only gripe is non-disclosure equals TGV all day, every day. I know TGV owns a Cosmonaut Chrono. What was it? A different model? Okay. Sorry, I'm jumping into some conversations here. I something happened when I was reviewing the chat that like I lost like a lot of the chat here. So so long as you disclose it, that's all that matters. Shady's when undisclosed. I totally agree, Clandestine. Justin Sains, love how hobbies and the like untimely dissolve into drama. Yeah. Wilson saying, if you tell me that lug to lug is 50.1 and it's 49.9, then I ain't mad at you. I'm mad at myself that I actually shit about it. Chris also has a channel here. He says, I always make sure to mention that when a piece is given for free to the channel and still critique what I think should change about the watch or do not change. Yeah. Production value is not free. It is both equipment and time. Who cares if they accept funds to compensate them, just as long as they disclose it? Yeah, disclosure is very, very key. I agree.
Yeah, it's the difference between legal and illegal. So
right. Megan say nothing wrong with doing paid promotion as long as you disclose Bobby Legs. Jody from Just One Watch, he does it too. Yep. I think if you get a watch you actually wear for a month, it's different. With you, Bobby, what does it mean when it's 0.001 millimeter off? I've been lied to. Oh man. I think he was calling out Teddy. He was also knocking people who do reviews on watches they sell. So that's that's an interesting one. You know, I saw a video today that Teddy put out about I think it was today or yesterday about dress watches under $3,000. And like, you know, a couple of the watches, like one, he mentioned Young Hands. And I know he's been a fan of Young Hands, but he sells it now. I think it may be appropriate for him to say something at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Like say that he does sell it?
Yeah. Just so as, I mean, am I off or do you think that is kind of appropriate?
No, that is appropriate.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't like promoting his website at that particular moment in time. I mean, I know he does some promotion in the beginning.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard an interesting thought the other day. It was on Miguel from SoCal Watch Reviews. It was on his podcast. He was talking, or I guess it was Adrian from Bark and Jack. He was talking about this alternate view on how, when you do a review, when you're a popular YouTuber and you do a review, you kind of sell those watches, and there's incentive to just take that slice of the pie too. You do this review. Why should the brands all just benefit from that? Why shouldn't you benefit from it? But it was an interesting perspective.
Yeah. AZ Clayton, I should start a watch review channel and use only veneer claris. That would upset people. Okay. JCB, unboxing reviews are fine. It's called a hot take, or should I say a hot take? JCB promoting his channel. Hey, catch JCB. He does a stream for us here in the States. It's every Tuesday morning. The hot take, right? With Jean-Claude Beaver, and definitely subscribe to that channel. He's got great. ID guy comes on. A bunch of other guys come on and talk about great stuff. I that's one of my favorite things about Monday morning. The kids are not awake. Logging into work, and I have JCB on and those guys. Let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying. I want to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
Craig, is the general problem with Ben's vid is that he presented it as the black and white, while in real life there's lots of gray with YouTube reviewers. Okay. Okay. Yeah. In the interest of keep things moving, let's go to the but great topic, great discussion. There's validity to a lot of what Ben is saying. I don't disagree with that. But there's two sides, and to every story. So, and that doesn't make me guilty of saying of anything by me saying that. Okay, so Teddy Baldassarre watch shopping with NFL pro Mitchell Schwartz. I picked this video. I like Mitchell. He is a member of the Horology Talk Facebook group, and I was excited to see him do this with Teddy. Teddy, a few months ago, did one with Dennis O'Leary, and everybody knows how much I love Dennis O'Leary. So I wanted to see what was going on here. And one of the first things that I know Mitchell plays professional football, and he's an offensive lineman, and he's a big dude. But man, is he a big dude! And and almost a 9-inch wrist. Like that's as challenging as having a small wrist, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can't wear anything under 40 millimeters, right? Easily. You can wear whatever you want. But, what was that?
You'd be struggling with anything under 44.
Yeah. I guess you could wear whatever you want, right? There were guys with 9-inch wrists 50 years ago who only could wear 34 millimeter watches, right? So they wore them, right? They wore them. Yeah. I thought some of the choices were interesting that Mitch made, and then at the end, they compared, right? And I gotta say, I think Teddy won. I think Teddy had the better collection choice, just because I think Mitchell has this really I have a totally different taste of watches, and maybe it's because of the size. It's size related, but I found that I thought that I liked Teddy's selection a little better, especially with that VC. What do you guys think?
I find it very cool that in his personal, I think what he was wearing was the
Moser.
The Moser, and that's not a very big watch, isn't it? It's a square watch, the Moser Apple concept, and I want to actually see what this guy, what he actually wears on his day-to-day basis. You know, how he goes with his watches. But yeah, I found his collection really cool, and you know, he does mention, you know, he's got an 8.5-inch wrist. You know, it's one hell of a wrist. You know, it's and you know, it truly is hard to find. You know, if you want to go for something, you know, much more minute and classy, you know, it's not gonna work because, you know, I have a funny story myself personally. My friend has a Boulevard Accutron. It's a tiny watch. I think it was a 35 mil, and it looked like a button on my wrist. You know, it literally looked like a bulbous button, and I was like, nah, I can't do this. So, you know, in my opinion, look, who's the winner? It's I like his choices. I like his choices, but the VC, you know, the American 1921 was yeah, that is a killer watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I like so the only watch that I really liked from Mitchell's side was I have a soft spot for Frank Muller, and I don't know why. I know Frank Muller gets a lot of hate, and probably deservedly so. But I like Frank Muller, and he got that. I didn't the tag that he got. I mean, if it's not the caliber 11, then and that's he didn't get the caliber 11. Then that's, you know, it's a no go for me. And some of the other watches, the Cartier is not something I would go for. That one in particular, and neither was the IWC. But Teddy's selection, the VC, the what were some of the other ones that he the Defy was Mitchell. But some of the other selections, I off the top of my head, I forget what they were, but they were more in line with what I like. What say you, Sanjay?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of not fair for Mitchell because I would always probably go with Teddy's picks. Teddy has the same size wrist as I do.
Yeah.
Everything he picked was, you know, ones that I would be happy to own. That said, though, it seemed like Mitchell kind of misunderstood the game at the beginning because he was going to, you know, make his decision on the fly. He was going to get everything that he wanted in a pile and then, you know, really agonize over it after. And he was told he can't do that. So I guess it almost seemed like, you know, he was a little bamboozled after that because he mentioned it a couple of times too. But yeah, it's I would go with Teddy's picks, though. You know, Mitchell's picks are really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to add, in the video, he goes on, you know, he has his remaining $5,500, and he talks about, you know, he's like, I'm going to pick the Tudor P01. And as you, Bobby Legs, you know, you mentioned evening diver, you know, the Tudor Black Bay 58, and this guy's referring it to as, oh, this is my one classy diver that I can wear. And then Teddy's like, definitely doesn't fit the ballpark here, but you know, but on him, you know, this looks amazing. It works, and yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys had a chance to ever see how Dinky had him on one time to discuss his collection, and he's got, like, you know, some of your typical watches, but then he's got some different kind of taste, and I like that about him. You know what I mean? Like and it was evident in this video tonight, and I don't know how much of it is his taste, or that, you know, he's kind of like hamstrung by his wrist size. But like I said, that Cartier and that IWC would not have been my first picks from their lineup, but that was something that he was really into, and good for him, man. You know, you get what you like. Yeah, Wilson is saying the Hideki video was actually pretty good. Yeah. Very, very good.
We talked about it here.
Yeah. Mitchell should. What am I saying is Mitchell should have smashed Teddy into display cases, Terry Tate style, and made up his own rules. Yeah, I think if he told Teddy that I don't like your rules, we're going by my rules, I think Teddy would have been fine with that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Junior Johnson saying, I shook hands with Muhammad Ali. The man had huge hands, and he was wearing a 36 millimeter dish. Yeah. I mean, you know, but that's what, you know, they wore back then, you know, and then even probably till his dying day. I mean, like, you know, he probably wore 36 millimeter Datejust because that's what they wore. Yeah, Ernst and Benz would be a perfect fit for him in his fixed watches. That's true. That's true. Okay, let's see here. Well, guys, we're coming up to an hour. 75 people on the stream still. That's awesome. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Sam, what do you got? What do you got? I know you're stuck in where you are right now. You don't have access to your collection as much as you'd like to. Anything going on with the channel in the next few days?
I'm just on the hunt. Sometimes being on the thrill of the hunt for a watch is sometimes better than just owning it.
So you brought it up. What are you hunting?
Honestly, I'm looking at many different types, many different brands. I'm looking at Grand Seiko. I'm looking at Tudor as well. Also Omega, even Breitling. So I'm looking at the SBGM 221. So that's a GMT watch. If I had the chance, look, I'd try to get the Tudor chronograph. I really like. I really need a mechanical chronograph in the collection, but if I don't, I'm leading towards Longines as well. So I'm kind of all over the place with what I want to get. But the thing is, I just want to get something really good. It's my first kind of delve into a really higher price point. So I just want to get something I'm just going to enjoy for the rest of the life.
That's very nice, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck on that, guys. Please check out Sam's channel, Sands of Time. I have a link in the description below. Give him a sub, man. He deserves it, and let's get his channel going. Sanjay, speaking of, are you on the hunt for anything? I feel like you're always on the hunt for something.
It kind of just happens. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to go see my AD friends to see that Omega Necton, Seamaster Necton. So Marcus is gunning for me to get it. Bobby,
Marcus is really great at spending other people's money.
Yeah.
So just know that.
Yeah. I was startled by how enthusiastic he's been.
Yeah.
But I know Bobby, Watch Medicine, he's asking me not to do it. But so I'll be going there tomorrow. The Black Bay 58 will be on the chopping block, so we'll see what happens. See if I can get a good deal on it, and I will drive safe. I will take my own car, and it'll be a good time. The stores opened up, so I'm just excited to go there anyway, because we just got out of a lockdown, which is nice. So we. I mean, you've been honest with the Black Bay 58. You knew that was only like a rental, Yeah.
Maybe have Mrs. Sanjay drive you to bar just in case. Goodbye, Black Bay 58 Blue.
You never know. I might come back with it. So.
Rich was saying is that the Netcon was impressive in person, which completely shocked me because I hated it when it was announced. A lot of people, I haven't seen it in person, but a lot of people had very strong feelings about that watch when it came out, and then when they saw it in person, it totally changed their mind. I know quite a few people, so that's interesting. That's why it's so important, right? To go to and see these watches in person, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you for stopping in. As always, really, really appreciate it. I'm not hunting right now. No, I mean, of course I have like a couple watches that I want to add, but I'm not like actively pursuing for a while. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to enjoy this moment because I know it's not going to last, but I'm really, really content right now with my collection, and I don't have that need for another watch, even though I'm kind of always looking. But like I said, I'm not really hunting. I'm just like looking from 30,000 feet away. Anyway, guys,
I predict closer to 70s next week.
Man, no, that's not going to happen. That's not
Yeah,
going
I
to
know,
happen
I
next
just-
week. Maybe 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
not a week. Everybody catch Sanjay's YouTube, the Engineer Wannabe. He's at Engineer Wannabe, Engineer_Wannabe on Instagram. And I'm Bobby Legs. Have a good night. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Sam, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And take care. Have a good night.
See you guys.
See you guys.